Hey, welcome back to another episode of Caffeinated CX, where we talk about CX and stuff, all in a hyper-caffeinated state. I'm David, the Caffeinated CXO, and before we begin, we're going to ask you to rate, review, and share this show, because together we can make this show grow, so we can make the Caffeinated Army. That's right, the Caffeinated CX Army, where we have a group of people that give a crap about customer and employee experience. That's right. That's the entire goal of the show. So today is the last episode of 2022. It is December 28th. Wow. Where did the year go? Oh my gosh. I have a theory about why time seems to be going so much faster nowadays. And you ever see a sink that was filled with water and then you pull the plug and at first it seems like there's no movement? And then as the water slowly sinks down, you can see the water going down the drain, spinning faster and faster until it's all gone. Well, same concept with time. That's right. The faster things go, the closer it is to the end. Now, that seemed a little depressing, but maybe it was. I don't know. In less depressing news, go ahead and go to Amazon and buy my book, The Blue Collar Call Center. It's $5 for the paperback, $3 for the Kindle version. You get a discount if you're a digital person who reads digitally. That's right. That is right. All right, today we're going to be talking about floor support in a digital age, in an age of remote teams and hybrid teams. We're going to be talking about floor support. And floor support, in case you didn't know, in case it's your first foray, into contact centers, call centers, places where people work, floor support typically was somebody with more knowledge than the average employee would get up out of their seats, get off the phones if they were still taking calls, right? And walk the floor, seeing if anybody needed help. They'd also answer a lot of questions. And, usually just gather near the supervisor station and watch everything going on and joke around with the supervisor staff. At least that's what I've seen in my experience. But when half the team isn't in the office or on the floor, the physical floor, what does floor support do? Seems like a lot of middle management, it became obsolete. And it's middle management that wants everybody back in their chairs so they can see what everybody's doing every second of the day. We gotta love those middle managers, don't we? Don't we, boys and girls? Anyway, in this digital age, in this age of remote work and hybrid moments, to quote the Misfits song, well, that's where floor support has to be omni-channel. They have to, if there's physical people in the office, they have to be like traditional floor support, as well as interacting and answering questions from the people that are working from home or wherever they happen to be working from. So, depends on your platform here, but let's say you use Slack or Discord or Teams or whatever it is you use. Those are the most common three, I guess. We use Discord. So not only does floor support have to be monitoring the chat, they have to be monitoring the floor and kind of have to bounce between, or if you're lucky enough that maybe your floor support has a tablet with your chat communication platform app on there, they can do both at the same time. And here's the thing, floor support has to be even more active than they were before. They have to be present. They have to be there. As soon as a question comes in, it gets answered, right? Just like floor support has always supposed to have been, right? Someone has a question, floor support runs over, answers it, right? Same concept here. Question comes in, and it's answered immediately. Because why? Why? There's no other way. Now, taking it from just agent floor support, where you take that tenured agent, the one with more knowledge, and it doesn't have to be someone that's been there the longest. It could be someone who's like, mastered everything, and there's no seniority there. Taking it from there and bringing it to the leadership team, the team leads, the mentors, the supervisors, the manager, they should be doing exactly the same thing, only more so. If you have a channel set up on Slack or Discord or whatever for your teams, those team channels should be the most active channels on the entire server. Period. There should not be much downtime, whether it's posting stats or posting motivational stuff or just checking in every few minutes. Like, hey, how's everybody going? Hey, did you guys see this? Hey, blah, 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 blah. So you have to have them active, right? Especially if you're hybrid or remote. Yeah. So how do you do this? Well, you have to take the time to get good at it. You have to take the time to get to know your people and get to interacting with them. That's usually how you get to know people, is by interacting with people. It's weird. I know it is. So in moments of downtime, the manager, the supervisor, the team lead should be bouncing between channels and bouncing between people on the floor, seeing how everything's going. And one of the main issues with hybrid work or remote work is the isolation and the loneliness that comes from it. People are social creatures, right? And as much as people are like, oh, I like being by myself. Yeah, some people do, but it's usually for a limited time, right? So even though they're not physically there, if you're on your chat platform like white on rice, it's a little less lonely and a little less isolating for them. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is spending more time with the people that are physically in the office. And this goes into human psychology and just human nature. If you can see someone, you have a easier connection with them, which leaves all the people that are working for you from home kind of out in the dumps, kind of like the neglected stepchild. And it never should be that way. So come up with games, come up with things that can be enjoyed by everybody that's on your chat communication platform, which should be everybody in the office and everybody at home, right? And be as inclusive as possible. And if there's a promotion coming up, don't just keep that for the people that you see physically every day. It should be open for the most qualified person, even if that person lives 8 states away, right? Now, let's be real here. Let's be real. There's not a lot of people that can manage remotely. It's a skill. It's a skill that is actually really hard to cultivate. It's new. It's different, right? It's even harder to manage a hybrid center because you have to split your attention 2 ways. More than 2 ways, but we're going broad here, right? 2 ways. You have to pay attention to the people that are physically in the office, and you have to pay attention to the people who aren't physically in the office, but are just as important as the people in the office. And that's why a lot of managers, supervisors, what have you, kind of neglect the people working from home. And it's sad, and it's bad, and it's all those things. So you have to get good at segmenting. You have to be good at paying attention to everybody. Like, just get on there during downtime. Downtime, what's that? But downtime, and just shoot the breeze with everybody all at once. Just, tell a few jokes, ask a few trivia questions, have a game or so, or two, and everything, you'll get the swing of it. Like, I was lucky that I was a guild leader in, like, World of Warcraft back in the day, so this digital chat and digital, giving directions and leading and all that stuff, I've done it before. And yeah, I was in a video game format, but I mean, you take 40 people through through a hours long raid, and you tell me how that's different than an office. So yeah, I don't know. I've talked about all that before, mostly on LinkedIn, but that prepped me for the whole remote / hybrid management thing. So when we went hybrid, it was like, well, yeah, okay, this isn't hard. It helped that we had the things in place beforehand, like at the time Slack, and I had a pilot program going for people working from home, so we were able just to replicate that. And that was just luck. We started that like a couple months before everything shut down here. But my point is here, floor support needs to be inclusive, and you need to get the right people that can answer questions both verbally and digitally. And not everyone can do that. And you might have to split floor support into 2. 1 digitally, 1 physically, if you're in a hybrid center. And that's okay if you have to do that. It's not ideal because that takes 2 people off the floor, or not off the floor, but off the phones, and not everybody can do that with occupancy and keeping their SLA and everything else. So I don't know, you do you. But floor support is one of the most important things you can do. Interacting with your team, no matter where they are, is the most important thing you can do. It'll keep your turnover rates low, because if people think that you don't care about them, or that they're neglected, or that they're forgotten ones, then it's not going to work out for you, and they're going to leave. And that's not cool. It doesn't matter how much you pay. People are going to leave if they're feeling neglected or forgotten, or that you just don't care about them. So that's today's episode of Caffeinated CX, and I'll see you next year. All right.